Hey everybody, it is Sen, and I'm here all by my lonesome just for another couple of weeks. We'll see what happens after that. We've got some people who are interested in being the co-host and or maybe the co-host. Maybe we'll have more than one. We used to always have three, and then we kind of like went down to two, and now we're down to one, and eventually we'll go back up to at least two, at least two. But in the meantime, we have a very special guest with here. Us here, we have Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to be here. I'm super pumped. This is super fun.
No, it's an honor to have you here. So, Chris Porter, everybody, is the. Are you the principal? Are you the owner? Are you the co-owner of
Basically
Chris
every
Coach
hat,
Games?
every hat that you could fit on my head. That's kind of what I do
Right.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a man of many hats, and
Mhm.
Chris Coach Games also. www.chriscoach.games. Oh wow, you got a dot games. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to mix it up.
Right. Well, because apparently Chris Coach is also like a golfer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a professional golfer named Chris Couch. So it's
Okay.
good that you got the dot games one, because otherwise people would be like calling you up and asking you for like, "Can you help me with my backswing?"
I mean, there's a lot of good business in golf.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't golf, but I can learn.
You can learn, you can
Yeah, I
learn.
can learn for sure.
Yeah, and so, tell me a little bit about Chris Couch Games before we get started on what the rest of this stuff is all about.
Yeah, so we're an indie publisher in Memphis, Tennessee. It's myself and three other partners, and we like to publish games that are sneakily strategic. And so we do things that are very
Sneakily
approachable.
strategic.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of like our
I like
mantra. So things that are very easy to play, and then as you dig deeper, they get more strategic and it kind of surprises you and you can have a lot more depth and thinking there, and then they have a lot of modules and things like that. So very family to kind of mid-weight gamer is what we go for.
right, and
No.
so currently you have, like, 2, 3 titles, right?
Yeah, we've got three titles out right now with a few expansions, and we got a few more coming out to crowdfunding next year. And so we've been doing a lot of conventions. We just got back from Philly and PAX, and
Right.
so we've got hopefully doing the whole gambit next year. But we started with our debut game, Kraken Skulls, which is like a pirate dice battler with a lot of mini games in it, sort of like Mario Party esque. And since then, we've kind of released some more festive games. So those are kind of like our two niches right now, and excited to kind of branch and spread the wings a bit more.
Right, right, right. And we brought you here today to specifically discuss the holiday themed games because that's
Hmm.
what Kat wanted to talk to you about. So she's like, "Make sure you talk to somebody about holiday games." I said, "I know them, just the person," which is wonderful because this kind of circles back to some other stories we have to tell. So, speaking of stories, can you tell
Hmm.
us your origin story? I know that you're a graphic designer by trade,
Hmm.
and that's about it, right? Because you kinda came onto the scene. I've met you a couple times, like, at unpubs and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
you're cool looking games. You have such a tight design sensibility, with your visual communication that it's like, that is a gr that just looks good. It just looks
Oh
amazing
man.
on the table. I don't care what it plays like, I just want that on my table.
Oh, I
Obviously
appreciate that. Yeah.
obviously, I do care what it plays like, but
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
I can get drawn in by the overall. It's not even the because it's not even the illustration. Most of your
Hmm.
games aren't really even heavily illustrated. They're more like graphic, like pop
Yeah.
style, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that to me is like brilliant. Like I love stuff like that because it's not it's almost timeless. It's almost
Hmm.
like eternal. So, anyways, so tell me your origin story, Chris Porter.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the kind words, man. That means a lot. I think that's really starts with that branding, graphic design sense. Chris Couch came from a me and my best friend, his name is also Chris, and so we were playing soccer our whole life. And when we would play in defense, we would name the other players honorary Chris's, and so we just made everybody Chris. And as we got older, we started playing games. He was more of the board gamer, and I was just kind of like would hop in. And eventually, I said, "Man, this is pretty fun." And then one of my friends made a game
Was he
on
also named
Kickstarter.
Chris?
his name was not Chris, but he's an honorary Chris, so it's okay. And I said, "Wow, I didn't realize that normal people can make games." So I said, "I want to make a game." And
Normal people.
yeah, just normal old folks. We can make games.
Yeah.
But I decided to make a game for him for his wedding as sort of a
Oh,
gift.
sweet.
That was like my first game, and I did a Marvel themed game. And
I remember that game.
yeah, yeah, that's when we.
That is a that, by the way, everybody,
Mhm.
like, if you want to see, again, another example of visual communication and style like, stylistic, art design, um, I don't know, Chris, if you have that game anywhere or if it's posted up anywhere, because it's,
Yeah,
it's using Marvel as
I've got it
the
on my
background.
Behance. You can go to my Behance, and I've got images of it and
Oh,
stuff.
good. Yeah, because it's, like, so clear what everything is without using illustration, and I think
Hmm.
that is, like, the beauty of excuse me, strong, clean graphic design. Anyways, keep going, keep going.
No, no, yeah, that I thanks. Yeah, I mean that was what really got me into it. I did like 800 illustrations of Marvel characters and scenes and stuff, and it was just my chance to kind of put my foot in the door of what game design looked like and illustration looked like. Then started playing more games. Viticulture really got me into the bigger side of games, and then simple card games were the ones that we always used to play. Marvel United was like my second game that kind of got me into it, and kind of just spurred off from there. After I gave Chris the gift of the Marvel game, we were driving back from the bachelor party, and we said, we always joked about making a company. What if we actually did it? And this was our company, and so we started Chris Couch Games, and I'm kind of the spearhead of it. I'm the entrepreneur of the group, so
Yeah.
I'm the one that does majority of the things, but we all dev and work together to get our games out.
Lovely, lovely. And, the design work, is it mostly you or is it the bunch of you?
It's mostly, well, we have leads for different games. So,
Oh,
for
cool.
instance, I'm the lead on the holiday line. We all kind of collectively did Kraken, and it kind of just was a nightmare. So we decided not to do that again.
Right,
Uh, and so Chris and Nick, who's another one of the team members, they're leading on our next game, Vector. And then I spearhead when we sign games. Like we've signed a few games. We've got one coming out next year called Garden Club. And then we've got a few other games that we recently signed. So I kind of lead those efforts as well, and then do the main dev work.
right. So you mentioned soccer, and then you
Hmm.
mentioned that you were playing games with somebody else who was more into the games than you were. So as a kid, were you a gamer, or was it mostly sports or video games
Mostly
or
sports and video games. Yeah, barely video games. It was like Super Smash Brother, right? Like,
right.
and I loved.
And who was your main? Who did you main?
Oddly, it was Pikachu. I
You
love
chose
Pikachu.
him? Okay.
Yeah, I chose Pikachu. Pikachu and then Star Fox, even though I never played like the Star Fox games. I just liked Star Fox. But yeah, it was mostly those. And then as I got older, I really didn't like the idea of board games unless I was playing it with Chris.
Right.
And and
You just like
then
Chris,
yeah, well, we're just my best friend. It's like
right?
I just want to hang out with Chris. And then
I will tolerate these board games for
yeah,
you, Chris,
yeah, I
said
was
Chris.
like, man, we're doing this, and then we'd have a great time. And then um, when we lived together is when I kind of was awakened to the idea of how cool it was. I was like, whoa, this is pretty neat. And I was exercising a part of my brain that I don't really get to do in graphic
Right.
design. Like I get to think about it strategically, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And that really just, I mean, just right there.
Right. Boom. Whole new
Yeah.
world. A
Hmm.
whole new world.
I was
Just
on the
woke up.
magic carpet, man. I was magic
Right?
carpet riding. Yeah.
There you go. And so what was the first game that really blew your mind?
Yeah. Viticulture was the first one that really just, I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Right?
Um, that was the one that blew my
Mm.
mind. The game that kind of we played a lot was actually Unstable Unicorns.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, that was the one that we would play all the time, and I got really good at it to the point where people thought I was cheating all the time. And so I said, well, there's got to be a little bit more out here. And then I found viticulture, and I was like, well, this seems interesting. And I played that, and I was like, this is just mind blowing the thought process that went into that, and that really opened the door to the hobby for me.
Right. And then what game were you looking at when you said, "Maybe I can design a game too"? Because you said you did
Hmm.
the reskin was it a reskin, the Marvel game? I can't remember.
It was like a reskin with my own twist. So I took some of the T Turtle like line of games,
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
I it was like here are the sleigh
Right.
plus a little bit of unstable unicorns because that's all I knew,
Yeah,
and I reskinned them, added my own I added pandemic, like some threat level stuff from pandemic because I
makes sense
actually
for a
did.
Marvel game, right?
Yeah, for a Marvel game, and so, like, I liked Pandemic, I had played that often, and we would do work game nights playing Pandemic, so I was
Right,
familiar with that, but it didn't, like, blow my mind, it just seemed like a normal board game. I was like, "Oh, Pandemic is a normal game." Um, and so, yeah, that's kinda what I that was the first time I dipped my toes in making a game.
right. Cool. And what is it about, like, the games that you like that you really like? Like, why does viticulture, like, scratch that itch? Or why did Unstable Unicorns become something that you actually almost dedicated some time to becoming good at?
Yeah, I think when I first was learning games, Unstable Unicorns, like, that it was about community, really wasn't
Right,
really about the game. That was about friendships, right? Like we get
right,
together and it's like a friendship thing. Viticulture and now myself as a board gamer are all about theme. I
okay.
really love thematic gameplay. Like I almost can't play a game unless it's really thematic, even if it's like abstract. I need to understand my role in it. I need to know like who I
What's
am
my
in the world.
motivation?
Yeah, why am I making something?
Widgets or things, yeah.
Yeah, we played Gingham last night and I was like, wow, this is an interesting game, but I was like, I have no purpose in this world. I'm just like, what am I doing? Why am I laying these tiles? Like,
Right.
and I can appreciate that game design, but for me, like to really love or make a game, I need to have a reason to exist in it, and that's what
Like
scratches it.
like a person, like an embodied piece that's you,
Doesn't
or
have to be
that
a
you
person,
right, more
just
just
like
more of a theme to it.
yeah, just a theme. Like, what am I doing in the game? Even if I'm like if you take Civolution for instance,
Right,
you're one of the new future gods or whatever, and you're in a test and you're doing all this stuff, but you're like a sentient being building out a civilization because you're trying to pass a test.
right.
Like you give me that little bit, and then okay, I understand why I'm
You'll
doing it.
run with that.
I'll run with it. I need a little bit.
Just
So
but just a little, you need a little hook
I need a
there.
little hook, and then if it's a big hook, you got me big
Then
time.
you're in. Alright, cool.
Hmm.
Before we get going on some other stuff, let's say hello to Luke and Fuzzy Took. Fuzzy Took, are you Canadian by any chance? You just, because of the name. And then Chris Anthony, who is definitely not Canadian. It's like 9 a.m. over where Chris is. Not Canadian at all. So yeah, let's talk about what we brought you here for, which was designing festive games, holiday related festive games, because two of the games that are currently in the Chris Couch continuum, uh, I had to use all C's there. Alliteration is
Oh, I love a good alliteration.
right. Are Holiday Hills and Jingle Bell Roll,
Hmm.
which are by all accounts great games. And like I said before, if you want to see solid graphic design, go take a look at these games because they are like illustration and graphic design are two different things, but
Hmm.
sometimes they can serve very similar purposes.
Yeah.
And to call it not illustration is not quite right. To call it just graphic design is also not quite right. It's
Hmm.
sort of bridging that intersection with that really kind of graphic pop style, right? Which is
Yeah.
something that I think is an art in all of itself. So, anyways, go take a look, everybody, at those things. But let's talk about festive games. So, first of all, why festive games? What is it about the holidays that kind of like bring out the game designer in you, Chris?
Well, it was really interesting thinking about like why I made these games. I always try to think about like what was the reason, and it really was just I wanted to make something that honored what my grandmother and grandfather kind of instilled, which was like the coming together of people in the holidays. They had passed, and it just like really kind of took a toll on our family. Like we just didn't
Sure.
have much of a tradition anymore after they kind of passed. There are
Yeah.
two different sides from my mom's side and dad's side, and I was just thinking, like, man, wouldn't it be cool to like be able to create something that could bring a family together, or just a new family could start a tradition, and it could be something for their kids to enjoy and
Yeah.
just bring something. And I was like, that Christmas idea is really cool. And so that was sort of the heart behind it in the beginning. And then I wanted to make something that was different because, um, there's just not a lot of Christmas games. There's only a few, and usually people make them really small because they're scared they're not going to sell and everything. And I said, well, what if we could do something a bit different? So the heart behind it all was really just bringing people together in the holidays, whether they have family or they don't have family or they need friends, like creating something to bring people some joy during the Christmas season.
Yeah, and it's interesting on the Ludology episode we did with Jordan, from Indie Toy Labs, he's
Hmm.
basically saying the same thing. He's like, "I don't expect this game to be played all year round. I want it to be just Christmas." Because
Hmm.
Christmas means a lot to him as well, and I think Christmas and the holidays in general mean a lot to a lot of people, whether or not you're celebrating it as a commercial thing, a family get together, or whether it's part of your religious belief, right?
Right.
And I think all of that, and it's very hard to escape it in North America. If you're not, Christian, it's still
Mm,
very much a part of being American or being Canadian. Is there it is. There's Christmas, right? Because
right.
everybody is doing it, whether or not they are Christian. I think that's
Hmm.
maybe one of the most interesting things about it is that people kind of agree to be a part of it despite the origins of it.
Yeah.
So, and maybe because some of the origins of it are not within the Christian faith, which
Yeah,
is
it's just kind of like
funny.
Christmas is just a big vibe, man. Like I was talking,
Right.
we took my girlfriend and I like went to one of the botanical gardens and just like walked to the Christmas light show. And I was telling her, I was like, yo, there's not really another holiday like like Halloween kind of gets close, but there's not really another holiday that's just a straight up vibe for like a month and a
Month,
half, like
right?
2 months. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like here, and you probably have them too. I'm not, well, I don't know. Tennessee is kind of south, but we have
mhm.
like Christmas markets all the time.
Oh yeah, we do too. Yeah, I mean,
All the time.
constantly,
Like
constantly.
last weekend, Christmas market. The weekend, 2 weekends before that, Christmas market.
Hmm.
And they're lovely and they're wonderful. And it's this fascinating things where people are willing to be outside in like sub-zero degree weather, skating around or walking from booth to booth to get some food and some hot chocolate or some hot apple
Yeah,
cider or something and buy a couple little gifts here and there, and it's
yeah.
kind of lovely. It's kind of like it does really embody the Christmas spirit, and I think when you are with people and you're sharing in those experiences, and then you go home and you pull out Holiday Hills and you
Hmm.
put that on the table, and again. Go look at it, everybody, because when you see it on the table, it's pretty cool. Like little trees and sleighs and things like that. It's just super,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think all of that is really, really powerful and really moving, and does give that sense of togetherness and humanity. And it is those things that we don't necessarily get from sports, and we
Mm,
don't necessarily get from video games, right? That
right.
intimacy, that kind of almost collegiality. There's something about sitting around a table, whether it's card or board game, where we can be competing with each other, but we're still, talking about our life and talking about family and
Hmm.
talking about, oh, what are we doing tomorrow after we open the gifts and all that kind of stuff. Whereas you can't really do that when you're seriously playing a sport. you
No,
can't,
no.
you don't necessarily do that when you're like doing an online game with somebody from halfway around the world, right?
Hmm.
So it isn't, it's definitely a more intimate thing where I think the like it just engenders different behaviors than all those other game-like things still do. Very different than
Hmm.
role-playing games, very different than LARPing. I think board games seem to be that thing where it is about the socialness of it.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the togetherness and all that kind of stuff. And I love the idea of building a tradition. So it's
Mhm.
funny because I, for ludology, have been interviewing a couple people about crokinole.
Mm.
Crokinole is a very Canadian thing, guys. It was invented here in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And yeah, so the World Championship boards are made like an hour and a half from me in Elmira. And I was interviewing Jeremy Tracy, who is the guy who does the boards. And because somebody had told me, oh, they make a different game now called Karuka, which is like snooker plus carom, and
Hmm.
it's a game that was invented in the UK, but the people there couldn't keep up with all the orders, so they stopped selling to non UK buyers. And they then got in touch with Jeremy, or Jeremy got in touch with them, and they licensed it to Jeremy to make for the rest of the world. And
Hmm.
so I was buying one of those boards, but then I saw the world championship board for Crokinole. It's like, I kind of need to have that. And the
Mhm.
reason why is because in my family, it is such a thing. Crokinole is a big thing because of my father-in-law who loves to play Crokinole. And I'm like, you know, this it's an expensive board, everybody. It's not like
Yeah, I mean, those like there's like really handcrafted, right? Like
yeah,
they're
yeah,
yeah.
like, I went to the shop, everybody, and I got to, like, the workshop, and I got to see them, like, how they make it, how they, put it on the they do all this kinda cool stuff. The coolest thing, though, Chris, you might get this, though, is that they had to, like, knock out a window in the top level of their warehouse so they could get natural light in, so they could inspect the
Mm,
boards. Because they
nice.
tried with all sorts of, like, fluorescent lights and, LED lights, and it
Mhm.
just didn't work. They had to
Yeah.
have sunlight, so they had to, like, build this loft that was up high so they could get it's nutty, but it's really cool because anyways, point being that that will hopefully be something that, because it's handcrafted with such precision, I can give it to my kids and they can play it with their
Mm,
kids, and their kids
mhm.
hopefully will take it, and when they grow up and play it with their kids, right? It's this thing that I hope will last generations and generations because, of the craftsmanship behind it. And
Right.
so it could become that kind of every holiday we break out the crocodile board.
Mhm.
I think it's, when you're getting to my age, when your kids are like 20 and moving away from home, you kinda want to, like, hold on to some traditions, right? Just like
Mhm.
kinda like what you were saying, it's sort of like it's a little bit of a crisis, right? Almost an identity
Yeah.
crisis, right? And sometimes games can anchor us when we're kind of a little bit adrift, right? When our family might not be the same family as it was last Christmas because
Mhm.
of whatever, right? My kids are getting older. My one child, who is in his like he's 22, he's probably gonna end up in the UK because that's where his girlfriend is, and that's where he
Mm.
wants to do his master's and PhD and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, will we see him every Christmas anymore? Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah, it's that kind of thing where it's like it's worth it to get something that will last, I believe. Anyways, so yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, we have some questions. We have some comments.
Oh, cool.
David Killing, who is a genius in his own right in terms of like uh, aesthetic design of things. He said, "Wow, the assemble game you did is amazing looking." There
Oh,
you
wow.
go.
Appreciate that, Dave.
Kristen Mott is a good friend of ours. Says, "Hi guys, hi Kristen.
What's
I still
up?
haven't got the game from Chad, but I will grab it from them." Kristen is the designer behind a lot of games that are super cool. She
We've got
actually
a
made one of
game.
the games.
She
You got a game?
yeah, yeah, we're working on a game together. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, Garden Club. Yeah, Garden Club and another
Oh,
one.
right, right, right. The one that we were
Yeah.
just talking about. Right, right.
Mhm.
That thing. And Christian also made a game that's in one of the ornaments that
Yeah.
Jordan's putting out, right?
Yeah.
Chris is
Awesome.
saying that our time was even way off. It's actually 1:15 there, so it is more than uh,
Mm.
more than 12 hours apart. And then Luke is saying, if you have um, yeah, if you have to be alone for the holidays,
Mm.
solo board gaming can keep your mind busy for a while. I think that's a great point, right? Because,
Yeah.
you know, holidays aren't always happy for everybody, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's, in my line of work, it's one of the biggest times where we have, crises and issues and mental health stuff. So it is not always the most fun time for people because while a lot of us think about family in a positive way, some people don't. When some people don't have family, and some
Right.
people have lost a lot of family, and this brings that back to mind. And so, having something to meaningfully pass your time in a productive way is actually really healthy, right? So,
Hmm.
board gaming definitely is something. If you can play it solo, I think that's a great point, Luke. Good job, Luke. Um, Thanks, Hafiz. We like the dynamic on the show too. So
My
anyway,
God.
yeah, let's get back to Holiday Hills very specifically.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about designing festive games, what is it? Okay, what is Holiday Hills about, and
Hmm.
how do you mechanically represent the real world holiday or winter, or what are you trying to represent on the table, and how did you do it mechanically? That's the question.
Yeah, so there's three things I think that come to mind. The first, well, to answer your question, Holiday Hills is all about decorating Christmas trees. Like that's
Yes.
the core of the game is about doing that. You're creating patterns, you're fulfilling pattern cards using your um, candy canes, string lights, and ornaments, and then you're putting dice presents under the tree. So some of the core principles of what people think about in Christmas trees, decorations, presents, right? Sleighs. And mechanically, the idea is how can you make something where every time you take an action, you get a sense of what Christmas feels like, right?
Right.
You could have made it where this is just a 2D board and you're putting things on the trees and it would have been way cheaper to make. It would have been like way smaller, um, but it doesn't really feel like you're at Christmas. Does it really feel like you're decorating Christmas tree? No, you just kind of putting things on the board. So I wanted to bring something that kind of when you walk by it on the table, you just like, whoa, what is going on? Like I want in.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think
And
I said the
yeah,
first time I saw you with
yeah,
it. It's like, "What is that? And how do
yeah.
I touch this?"
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, and also just like the idea with you're at family Christmas and you've got kids and people of all ages, like what is something that a kid will want to just hold and play with? Or they've
Yeah.
got the sleigh, which is literally like a Hot Wheel,
Yeah.
like you got a Hot Wheel, you can put the dice into the sleigh, you can roll. I mean, you don't even need to play the game. You just get the game and just play with the toys of it is sort of the idea. It can appeal to everyone of all ages. Like, and there's five of them. So like if you're playing the game and you want your kid that's a little younger just to play with stuff, you can literally give them wheelbarrows and dice and say, just play over there and we'll
Yeah.
play the game. And mechanically, it was all about introducing some really basic um, mechanics of what board gaming is at a really approachable level. So everybody understands how to make patterns
Yep.
from children. We know how to make patterns. So how do you do that in a simple way where like, oh, I got to put these things on the trees in this way. Cool. Everybody understands that your color is on my tree and my color is on your tree. So I kind of don't want that, but maybe I do want that in some areas. So a little bit of competitiveness in that too. And then everybody also understands the basics of Monopoly, which is roll and move. So
Right.
I wanted to have sort of a look of a board that resembled Monopoly in the sense with someone that maybe isn't familiar with board gaming would see it, but they have more power. They get to choose how far they go. There's no rolling and moving. So introducing the idea of you have power and choice in board game design, even though this is a familiar look to you.
Right.
And so I wanted to kind of bring that into it as well. And then there's area control, which is sort of the most advanced board game mechanic in the game, which is whoever has the most decorations on a tree will score the highest pip dice
On
under the
that tree.
tree.
Yeah.
So like you want to fill your trees. You want to invite people to decorate on your trees with higher pip dice, but you also want to have the most. So
Right.
it really teaches people like a lot about board gaming without them realizing it, and so it works
It's
at
like
a lot of
stealth
ages.
learning. I like it.
Yeah, sneakily strategic. That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really interesting because it's got a huge, like, table presence and really decent level of toyoticness, which, by the way, everybody, doesn't mean what we think it means. So,
Oh,
um,
right.
we use toyetic in kind of a wrong way, in the game industry. because really what it means from like a media perspective is, can I make a toy out of your property? That's what toyetic means. But
Mm,
we typically in game design say it's got a like a toyetic factor, means
yeah.
that it's you can use it like a toy, which is
Hmm.
not quite the same thing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're free to use it whatever way we want because language, my friends, evolves with usage.
It's all made up anyway.
It is. It is already. So yeah. So you're taking dice
Hmm.
that are representing gifts,
Right.
like they do look like gifts because they're like square boxes, right? And you put them
Yeah.
under the tree,
Yep.
and then that dictates how many points that tree is worth ish.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Your tree's value is based off your decorations. So
Oh,
there's three different ways to score trees in the game. You've got your objective cards. That's your easy way to score it. You're going to score those pretty much guaranteed in the game. As you move, you're just going to do those.
yeah,
You might not get them all if you don't know what you're doing, but you'll get something.
yeah,
Um, Now, if you fill your tree, every tree has four spots that it can hold a decoration. If your
right.
tree is full, then it's called a festive tree. You'll get 8 points for every tree that's got all four spaces filled.
Okay,
And then if you have four dice under your tree, it's called a full tree. You'll get additional 10 points for that tree. And then if you've got the most decorations on the tree of your color on that tree, you'll score the highest flip dice. So you can have
I see. I see. Got
8 points for your tree, 10 points if you have all four die. And then if you have a six pip dice under there and you have the most, then you're getting additional 6
So the
points.
most you could score is like what, 24 per
Yeah.
tree?
Hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But then you have objective cards that want you to have these colored dice presents under one of your trees. So you could score an additional 10 or 12 points if you do that correctly. So you can really take advantage. Like a singular tree can get you a lot of points if you play that tree really well. And also, as another player, you can use string lights to decorate on multiple trees at once. So I might help you fill your tree, but you have two sixes under your tree. So if I'm second place, I'm going to get 6 points for putting
Right.
one decoration on your tree. So I kind of offset your scoring a little bit. And if that decoration also helped me fulfill one of my objective cards, now I'm comboing really easily.
Right.
So like there's a lot of really cool strategy in it, even though it's simple. It's
Yeah.
easily achievable,
Yeah,
you
like
know.
you said, you play this at a very basic level and just do your objectives, and you'd have fun, and you'd score some points, and then you'd wonder how come, mom is getting like 36 points. And she's
Right.
going, "Wow," because,
Yeah.
sometimes it's better to come second on many, many trees than first on one, right?
Yeah, and that's was the idea was like positive player interaction was
Yeah.
something that I wanted to really put into the game where the first time you play it, everybody thinks traditionally board games like don't touch my stuff. I got my stuff, you got your stuff. We're gonna do our own thing. Don't mess with my gifts. But the person that figures out pretty quickly to like spread the cheer, like, all right, I'm gonna put a decoration
I like that.
on your tree because I see you've got a nice dice over there that I want a piece of.
Yeah.
Like the first person to do that, they usually win the game because they
Yeah.
like catch it quick enough and it's hard to catch up with them because
Yeah.
they get it really quickly.
That's a great way of putting it, like, spreading the cheer is the way to win,
So
right?
we
Isn't
kind
that
of
what we
emphasize
want?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea, like spreading cheer, and you don't score in the game because I don't want people to think that oh well I'm behind.
Right.
You don't score until the end of the game, so no one knows who is winning. Like you just kind of are just like I guess I'm doing pretty
Yeah.
good, but you're focused on how good the Jingle Bell Square looks, and that's really
Right.
the idea.
I like how the game, like, what's incentivized in the game is kind of the thematic behavior that you wanna see anyway. Like, the
Hmm.
points matter, right? I wanna score more points, and how you do that is by spreading cheer, which is what a holiday game should kind of, well, a Christmas holiday game anyways, should be
Hmm.
about, right? And I think
Yeah,
that's really cool. Um, so Holiday Hills, that was when was that kickstarted?
In March.
Okay, and is it delivering soon?
It's delivering like the games are landing like next week, and then
What?
fulfillment goes until. So I mean we're hoping that it can. Right now, it's not projected to start fulfilling before Christmas because we got
Oh,
delayed from the last. tariff thing.
Oh yeah, that thing.
That like really kind of just put a we had a manufacturing error with our trees, which was kind of
Oh
unforeseen.
no.
So we could have either well, we couldn't ship it because I wasn't going to allow it to ship
No.
wrongly. So
You
I
have
said,
more pride than that, my friend.
yeah. So I said we're going to reprint our trees and our stars, and we're going to deliver you the game that is meant to get to you. And
Yeah.
then we still would have been on track because we had buffer zone. But then when the latest tariff threat of like 150 or whatever came out, it was literally was if I ship this and this goes wrong, like I lose everything,
Yeah.
and I just can't take the risk on that. So
No, no.
it's unfortunate, but that's kind of just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, because obviously with things that are holiday themed, you kind of want them for the holidays. It makes sense,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah. We
yeah,
had some copies airshipped over for packs, and we have some that, and we're sold out of Jingle Bell Roll of what we had in airshipped in. It was only like 200 copies of
yeah,
each. We still got a few more of Holiday Hills that we're just selling on our site just to be relevant during the holidays,
yeah.
which it's one of those things too where some backers are upset, some backers understand it, but I told my backers, I said, "Hey, look, I get it. Like I'm more mad than you. Like I
Well,
promise you,
yeah, right.
And so I created a backer only promo that we're gonna print and send to them,
Yeah,
um, as almost like a hey, thanks for just bearing with us. Like
yeah,
this wasn't meant to be, but I'm gonna take money out of my wallet, like which I've been doing this whole time
yeah. I
to
mean,
help you. And so I try to make it right with people, but you can't control everybody.
no.
Sometimes it just happens.
And here's what I and like their feelings are their feelings, right? And
Hmm.
if they just understood the math, if they just understood math,
Yeah,
it would help them a little bit to maybe get past those feelings. That like, I don't know if anybody out there listening has airshipped stuff, you know how much it costs, and you
yeah.
know that Chris selling at PAX is not making money hands over fist for 200 units. It
Nope.
cost him like a lot of money to airship those 400 units and to
I'm happy
sell.
saying the number.
Yeah,
It cost me 7,000 to airship my
400
games.
copies.
Yeah, 400 copies cost me 7,000 to
Yeah, and
airship.
then selling them and getting the booth at PAX. And this is
Yeah,
just to remain relevant, everybody, to
yeah,
have some product to show, right?
yeah,
And if that cheeses you off because you didn't get your game first, I don't know what to say about that, you
yeah. I
know?
mean, we
Like,
we had
you're
like
kind of being a
promos.
Grinch. You're kind of being a Grinch.
Yeah, basically any backers at PAX, we printed off the promos, or I printed them off, and so say, hey, come by the booth, get your promo for free,
Yeah,
And we had some lovely. I met so many lovely backers. They're all really great. Majority of people understand,
yeah,
truthfully, but
yeah.
like it's
It's
just a few
that
people
one or
that.
two loud voices. They're, like, so loud, though, right?
Well, one part of Kickstarter and crowdfunding, especially with a holiday game, is you're going to get people that typically don't do this. Like they're not a
True.
part of this, so they don't
They're not used to the
understand.
ecosystem, right?
Yeah, so like you try to, they don't even read the updates because they just don't know. Like
I bought this thing, it said it would be here at this time, it's not here.
yeah, that's people want a refund because it's not delivering. I'm like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be patient, treat
Oh, yeah,
people
'cause
like you would
you
want to
might
be
have a bunch
treated.
of people who never backed Kickstarters before, but they like
Hmm.
Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
There's some people who really like Christmas out there, and you know who you are. I'm
Hmm.
pointing at you through the screen right now. Who
Yeah,
like
you got to
Christmas.
treat people. You got to treat people with grace. So that's
Yeah,
kind of how I view. Like, if this was my first Kickstarter and I didn't know anything, how would I want the backer to or the project person to communicate to me? And I try to take that in consideration every time. It's like, hey, I like your feelings are valid. This is a situation. I'm sorry you feel like that. I'm doing everything I
yeah.
can.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would benefit from being a slight bit more empathetic, right? Just to
Yeah,
keep your own sanity. Just
that
keep
would be
it.
nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Okay, Jingle Bell Roll. Jingle Bell Roll, everybody, is a game by Marcus Ross. It is a dice rolling game, and it is, from all the things that I hear, one of the tightest dice games, bar none.
Oh wow, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, he did a great job, and Marcus is
Yes.
brilliant. It was just such an honor to work with him on Jingle Bell Roll. um, the moment that I played it, I was like, "Hey, man, we gotta do this thing." Like, I was like, come on with it. And I said, no one's gonna work harder than me to make this thing sing even more. And so I was honored that he trusted me to collab with him on it, and he just knocked it out of the park. Yeah. So
Yeah, I've heard such good things about it. So everybody that out there, whether you like Christmas or not, do yourself a favor and see
you
if you
can
can
pre
find it.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can pre-order it. Yeah, we
pre-order that,
hmm
and maybe go check out. Are there any like how to plays for that game?
yeah, we have a how to play, and we have a full playthrough
Oh, nice.
of Jingle Bell Roll.
And is
hmm
that available through your website, Chris Coach Games?
Yes, it is. We have it up now, and we have the Naughty or Dice promo. Which one thing that I was going to mention about Holiday Hills too is the board is double sided. So the main game is Nice mode, and you flip the board over, you play Naughty mode. Yeah.
But by naughty, you don't mean like, X-rated or anything like that.
No, 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 no,
That'd
no.
be
Like you're just
weird for a family
no. Oh,
game.
no, no.
Just saying, Chris.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, look, it's been done.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. I'm sure it
No, it
has.
just means you're
Not
more
funny.
like the mechanics are more mean in the sense of you're moving
Right.
decorations
Little more take
around.
little more take that.
A little bit, very like it's not even take that. It's more like manipulate, move
Yeah.
stuff around.
Okay.
But
You know what I think is fascinating? Seeing as we're talking about like family games and things like that, and like with people who may not actually play strategy games a lot, but may play like regular old, games that they
hmm
get from Walmart and Target and things like that. Which I mean, you can get strategy games there now, but 20 years ago you couldn't. Is that take that as a huge part of all those types of games, right?
people love being mean. They like to mess with
Ah,
each other. Like
yeah.
you kind of got to get that frustration out of work, and who better to do that with than your friends and family?
Who will forgive you?
Who will
Maybe,
forgive you,
maybe,
possibly, or hold
maybe.
a grudge?
Remember we were talking about grace, everybody.
Yeah, there we
Give
go.
your family some grace. So Jingle Bell Roll. Was it a separate Kickstarter or was it like an add-on or?
It was a late edition, so I actually
Mm.
met Marcus about 2 weeks before the Kickstarter launched, and I said he played Holiday Hills, and he showed me his game, which was Christmas Dice. I said, "Hey, man, look, um, if you sign this with me, we'll have it out on Kickstarter in a month. It's going to look awesome
Yeah,
because that's how we do it.
yeah,
I'm going to dev it with you. We're going to workshop some stuff, and we're going to make this thing better. We're going to add a little bit more to it. We're going to add a promo to it that's going to hit with different audiences, and you're going to have a game out this Christmas." And he said, "Well, let's rock this thing, man." And um, yeah, it's really really neat how the game works and the game flows, but it's a it's a Yahtzee esque right
yeah.
thing of you've got 7 dice, you got 3 rolls, but there's a little bit of engine building. There's festive combinations in it, and it's just got a lot of cool things going on in the game. So you can score every milk and cookie pair that you roll will score you points. They don't score
Yeah.
points individually. If you have the more stockings you get, you can like get a lot of points on stockings. There are lists, Santa's list. You got to get exactly 2 because Santa checks his
Not
list
it.
twice.
I get it.
hmm And then, yeah, and then there's gifts that you can score, and they'll score the most points. But every time you score a gift, you give another player a gift card.
Right.
You
Oh,
give the
that's lovely.
gift,
Yeah.
and that helps them on their turn to score more points or to mitigate their dice. And then there's bells. If you roll a bell, you that locks the die. So two things with
Oh,
bells. Originally, well, it doesn't matter originally, but if you roll a bell, you can't re-roll it unless you have like a character power. So there's a character in the game that
oh,
everybody gets, so a power 1 turn. But if you roll 7 bells at any time, you automatically win the game. Jingle bell roll. So it's pretty hard. But the more bells you roll, there's letters to Santa that are floating above the Christmas tree. If you roll 2 bells, you get to add the top letter to Santa to your mailbox, and that will provide you a permanent dice face for the rest of the game.
oh,
So
sweet.
it's very light engine building. So
Yeah.
you know that, oh well, I got better combos. So you have your mailbox, you have your character card, and you have the gift cards that are helping
Yeah.
you mitigate your dice for 5 rounds.
I love how some of the like cultural understanding of, milk and cookies and checks it twice,
Mhm.
makes sense game wise as well. And that, if you don't know that kind of thing, you'll learn it through the game, and that's fun too, right?
Yeah.
But it makes so much sense. Like, oh yeah, he does check it twice, so we do need two lists. I
Mhm.
don't know if you meant to talk about this, but Luke is talking about reciprocity, and that he thinks that reciprocity, like what you just said about, if you get a gift, then you have to give a gift to somebody, right?
Mhm.
And that it's an interesting mechanism. Culturally, it was either tradition or unspoken rules that you give things to people. But it's funny to realize that as a player, it's a good thing sometimes. If the game incentivizes reciprocity, then you can make it worthwhile for people to be a little more altruistic maybe, or to give
Mhm.
away something that will eventually pay dividends to them, or will end up with them just reaping a benefit from that action, which is cool, right? So that
Yeah.
is kind of neat that a Christmas game can make you understand that giving is a good thing. Like what goes around comes
Yeah.
around, right?
Yeah, giving gifts is one of my big love languages. Like that's how I express that I care about someone.
Same, I do
So,
too.
oh yeah, well there you
Yeah,
go. I got to get you a gift, man.
I
That's
should
it.
get you a gift.
Yeah, we got to give each other gifts. But yeah, so I wanted that to be very much part of the gameplay. Like when you play it, you know, every turn feels thematic, and in Jingle Bell Roll, like the dice feel thematic. You feel like this makes sense. In Holiday Hills, you're pushing your sleigh to borrow decorations from your
Right,
neighbors because you waited until the last minute to decorate for the festival.
come on
So
now.
like, you got to run around, borrow them. The human pushes the sleigh. The elf is decorating in town. So your player boards have like those characters
Yeah,
represented. So like everything is meant to have like reason and to ultimately teach, I think, influence people that kindness is good. And
yeah.
then that's kind of like the idea.
Yeah, that's great, that's
Hmm.
great. So what about giving gifts is like your why is that your love language?
I think that at the heart of giving a gift, there's sacrifice.
Yeah,
Um, whether it's monetarily or time or energy, you are sacrificing something you have to show your appreciation for someone else. And I don't think there's not anything else that you could give someone more important than your time. And
yeah,
so even if you spend time looking to buy something for someone, like it is the ultimate way of giving to somebody to say, "Hey, I care about you. I'm giving you a gift." And that gift might just be I'm going to go like spend quality time with you, right? Like
yeah,
I'm going to give you the gift of my time, because I care about you. And I think
yeah,
that that's the reason why I really love gift giving
yeah,
is because it really means something.
yeah. I really like finding that specific thing for somebody that
Hmm.
I know that nobody else will get them because nobody thinks about them that way. So that's that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what I like to do about gift giving. But anyways,
Yeah, like
cool,
really
cool, cool.
thoughtful gift. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Hmm.
Like something that they'll go, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, cool. So what's up next for Chris Coach Games? You got Kraken Skulls, you got Holiday Hills, you got Jingle Bell Roll. What's
Yeah.
what's next for you? I know you're talking about the game that you're working on with Kristen,
Hmm.
who's this person
Yeah.
right here, who said, "Hi guys."
Hey. Yeah, Kristen's awesome. She co-designed a game with Andrew Stiles, who recently did Wine
Yeah,
Cellar. And so we've got a game that we're going to be releasing called Garden Club, and another game hopefully by them as well, in like a sort of a duo. It's kind of a secret right now, but that is going to be our next crowdfunding effort in Q1 to be delivered early or like probably Q3,
the year
and
after.
then
Oh
yeah,
no,
no,
Q3 this year or 26.
yeah, 26, yeah, same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't I move quick, man.
yeah.
So
Let's
yeah,
not jinx
that's
it though, because you never know.
you never know, but that's the plan. That
Right.
is the current plan. And then we just signed a couple other games that we're working on with another new designer that's kind of on the scene, Jaden Johnson. We signed a game with him called Hackers and Quartet recently that are sort of a different kind of games. And then we've got our internal games that we're working on
Yeah.
that were leads. So Vector is a space game about polyominoes and set collecting.
Mhm.
And then we've got Haunted Hills, which is the sequel to Holiday Hills.
I was gonna ask you if you guys were gonna
Yeah,
do some Halloween stuff because
yeah.
you mentioned earlier that Halloween is kinda the second most, vibey kind of. Because 'cause
Hmm.
you're right, I mean, like, that's another one that, people are in Halloween mode for, like, months.
Well, the spooky thing lasts for like you can be spooky anytime.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah, you like it doesn't matter. But this will be very, very Halloween.
Okay, okay,
Like it'll be candy trick or treating, but a
yeah,
nice twist on it.
cool.
So those are the next things for us, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, it's you mentioned that. I was talking to somebody on a forum the other day, and they were wondering, like, well, this the company passed on my game, blah blah blah. And they gave me some feedback about this. And they said, oh yeah, what kind of game is it? Oh, it's a bag building Halloween game. I said, oh, that sounds amazing, right? Because it
Hmm.
sounds like exactly what you would do during Halloween.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it a little bit, and then he eventually told me that yeah, it's a 90-minute strategic bag building game
Nope.
about, and it's like, oh, like that's that
Mm-mm.
the discordance between like the mechanism and or the weight of the game and the thematic weight of the game,
Right.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
just like that may not fit because like when you're selling a Halloween game, you're selling to people who just like Halloween,
Right.
or they might think it's like a kid friendly game because Halloween's kind of like family and kids.
Hmm.
Um, so it's just this funny conversation about, because everything else lined up really nicely. It's like Halloween
Hmm.
game, got it, good, I like it. Bag building. Oh, right, bags and Halloween candy, got it. Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
90-minute heavy strategy game.
Nope.
Nope.
Wrong. 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 I mean, Holiday Hill started out like as a really chunky game. It
Yeah.
was weird. Because I just wanted to see if I could make a heavy game.
Hmm.
So I had a similar mechanic as Luthier, where you had hidden bidding at different
Yes.
locations. And then when I saw Luthier was getting a little bit of buzz, I was like, well, looks like Dave's kind of already doing that. So I'm going to transition to just doing something totally different, and that's where I just slimmed it down, made it really, really approachable, and really understood what you just said, which is there's theme and mechanic need to really like align, especially when you're coming into the fray of a festive game
Yeah.
or something that people understand, because they have preconceived notions of like
Yes.
what does it mean to play Christmas, or what does Christmas mean?
Yeah.
Christmas does not mean complicated. you know
Well, unless you look at my spreadsheet. Do you know about my spreadsheet? Have you seen my spreadsheet?
I don't think I've seen your spreadsheet.
Oh,
No.
well, you have to
Oh
see my
no.
spreadsheet. I have a Christmas cooking spreadsheet, that
Oh, okay.
times everything to the precise kind of time when I take it out of the oven, so everything lines
Oh,
up.
that just seems organized. That's not complicated. That's
It's pretty
just
complicated.
that's
Because I have, like, an oven running, a smoker running, and, like,
Oh,
I have a
wow.
whole bunch of stuff going on, so it's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Layered, very
Everybody
layered.
everybody, knows that it's Christmas when I post my spreadsheet because it's red and green, and it's got all
Yeah,
these
oh, that's
flavors.
cool. Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, you've got a lot of stuff going on, that's pretty cool, and, tariff aside, things are going pretty well for Chris Couch Games?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of upside. We still got to pay some things off from the campaign.
Yeah.
So, during fulfillment, you don't get that bill till it's fulfilled. So that's like our last checkbox. But other than that, we've got a lot of really good positive momentum. We're going to be at a lot of conventions next year. We booked Origins, so we'll be a vendor at
Hey,
Origins,
nice.
and then be back at PAX, and hopefully, fingers crossed, for some new ones as
Right.
well.
And you'll be at Gamma?
I will be at Gamma, but not as a vendor, but I'll be
Okay.
there as a member of Gamma.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
but will you be looking for, like, stores to sell to and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's be my first time to go to Gamma, so I'm excited to like get that experience and talk to retailers
It's in
and
your backyard, isn't it? Like, relatively close to you?
Louisville's not too
Oh,
close.
I guess that's so,
Yeah.
so for people who aren't from the States,
Yeah.
Tennessee is a weird state.
It's really long.
It's like as long as 6 other states, but as skinny as, like, a quarter of another state.
Yeah, we're Memphis is like at the bottom left, like basically Mississippi. So if you can essentially just say we're like if the top of Mississippi is where I am. And
Yeah,
so everything is still far away from me.
it's
Like
true, it's true.
but it's easy. It's an easy drive.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I like Louisville a lot. I like bourbon, so that'll be great for me.
So there you go. Get some bourbon while you're there.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to maybe we'll grab Kristen and have her come on the show to
Oh, that'd be
promote
awesome.
Garden Club and the secret project.
Yeah,
What do you
please.
think about that, Kristen?
Yeah.
Big.
And our new game, Stable Times, it's out too, so that looks great.
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, Stable Times is the game that I have to go pick up from a friend who brought it back from PAX for me. Kristen's like, yes, we'll do. Okay, so we'll have to schedule that in and book that into the near future. Um, I interview Kristen at least once a year because she's just got stuff going on all the time, so it's great.
She's a baller.
Uh, yeah, I don't know if she'd consider herself that, but sure.
I
Is there
can
anything
say.
else? You can say it. Is there anything else that you wanted to? Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Um, are there late pledges, late pledge manager, anything up for any of your games, or is everything
Yeah,
kind of like?
everything's up on pre-order, so we're
Oh,
past like
okay.
the pledge manager side of things. So, like I said, Holiday Hills, we have only the base game. We have a few more copies from our PAX inventory. So, like, if you order that, I ship it. So,
Yeah,
like, you could get it, before probably before Christmas,
yeah,
um, depending upon how shipping goes. But
yeah,
it'll get shipped out like next day,
yeah,
and then everything else we have Kraken Skulls in stock, and there's no
yeah.
more Jingle Bell Rolls, so that's unfortunate.
That's
But
on. That's on. That's
that's
on
on pre-order. So
pre-order.
when we
Right.
get
Okay.
that inventory, that'll ship out, when we do fulfillment. So
Mhm.
you can uh you can get on that. But we had a Santa and Krampus expansion that just got a
Nice.
how to play video released today. So we've got a
Good.
few expansions for Holiday Hills and everything. So yeah, it's going well.
Very cool. Um, And how much are your games and like each game? Just shoot the price out just because like I
No,
don't have
yeah,
a
yeah.
sense of scale on these ones.
Kraken Skulls is 35. It does have free shipping and you get a free Christmas promo. So it's a really good deal right now.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, and it comes with 3 expansions built in, and it's
Oh
like
well.
a great production. If you like Dice Battlers, it's a
Yeah.
really fun game.
What are you waiting
Um, Holiday Hills is 59, and then because it's a deluxe
for? Yeah.
version, and then Jingle Bell Roll is 25, and then the promo for that is $5. So you can get a Jingle Bell Roll, the promo for 30, and then we have a Chimney Dice Tower and Sleigh card holder, and it is just the I'm I'm upselling, but I'm being honest. The Chimney Dice Tower is like so awesome. Like it is really, really fun to, especially for Jingle Bell Roll. So I would highly recommend if you're gonna get a copy. Like I don't see why you wouldn't want to get that Dice Tower. It's super cool. But
I
yeah.
might just make one of my own out of a gingerbread house, and then I can eat it later.
Oh, that's see, big brain stuff. There you
Big
go.
brain stuff. There you go. Galaxy mind. All right, everybody. That's our hour. We talked a lot. So if you want to reach me, you can find me at Senfeng Lim, mostly on the blue sky, where the skies are blue. Maple syrup on all the things if you want to chit chat about that. You can find Chris at Well, I guess not at, but
ChrisCouch.games is our handle too, so it's
yeah.
all the same.
And is that where are you on social media? Is it mostly Instagram and everything?
Instagram, Facebook, and we'll be on TikTok starting next year. There's just so many things to
Oh, there's so
manage.
many things to do, right?
Yeah, I've got a TikTok account. I mostly do my own stuff. Nerdy Soul is like my own little content channel, so that's kind
Right.
of where I do most of the things. But yeah,
What kind of nerdy soul stuff do you do?
I do shoes and board game reviews. So I'm a sneakerhead. So I
Oh,
have
I see, I
Nerdy
see.
Soul SOLE. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna talk, like, about either music or soul food, and either one I would have been into. I do like shoes. I am not quite the sneakerhead you are probably, but I do like
No, I
shoes.
don't talk about shoes all the time. It's just kind of like a thing. It's like
Yeah,
my shtick. But
yeah.
honestly, I need to talk about soul food and soul music on there because why not?
Because why not? It could be all the souls.
Hmm.
There you go. Hey, you know what? Yeah, and the nerdy soul, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be doing some content
There you go.
on Nothing But Net coming soon. So
Yes, for half his. Luke, have a great week too, my friend. Chris, it was nice to see you. Go back to work. Kristen, laugh and cry, I guess. Live, laugh, love, cry? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
all the
Uh,
tears.
all the tears, all the tears. So next week, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no clue. It's exam week, so
Oh, wow.
I'll probably be, I don't know, marking exams. But yeah, if you have any idea of things you want to hear about, people you want to talk to or want me to talk to or bring on the show, just hit me up, let me know. Again, we are looking for a co-host and or co-hosts. And if you are that person, if you want to get in on that, let me know. We do have a mandate of good representation. So looking for people of various and sundry um, identities. That's a good word for that. Thank you, Kristen, for saying that's an awesome show. We think it was awesome too.
It was
So
fun.
next week, yeah, I have no clue what we're doing, but we'll find something
I
to
got
do.
another Chris I'll send your way. What about
Oh,
from Moon Saga Workshop?
oh, what kind of
Parks
what?
and Parks and Potions. It's a
Cool.
good
Yeah,
friend of mine.
yeah, send them my way.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe December is the month of the Chris's. We just talk to Chris's every week.
Yes, Chris
Let's do
takeover.
that. Chris, take over. We could do that. That'd be funny.
No, I will. I'll send
Yeah,
you
yeah.
some
Send
contact.
it my way. We'll start the Chris takeover, and then we'll find some more Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, I forgot to tell you. You do have one responsibility, by the way.
Mm.
It is to give a piece of final advice.
Ooh, okay. Who's the receiver? Just anybody that.
Everybody who's watching. So
Okay.
they're mostly game designers. So
Yeah, game designer. So I'll say my biggest piece of advice is to enjoy the games you're making. Like, don't make something you're not going to enjoy. Don't make something just because you want to sell a product. Like, think about something that you're going to enjoy and really cater your game design towards that because there's so much work that's going to go into it that you're going to want to enjoy that process even in the hard there's going to be times you're not going to enjoy it obviously because it's going to be hard but you're going to want to be inspired by that thing so definitely make something that gets those buttons clicking that you can get passionate about because when you start making the game you have to shift your mindset to making a product and it's really difficult but if it's something you really enjoy and if it's a mechanic you enjoy or a theme you enjoy or art you enjoy it's going to make it a little bit easier to deal with all the businessy stuff.
yeah, and it shows like it bleeds through into every time you
Hmm.
talk about it and all the videos and the interviews and stuff that you do. Chris Anthony approves of Chris Month.
All right, Chris. Board meeting. You got to be at our next Chris Couch board meeting. It's every Thursday. So,
Yes. Oh, and I mean Chris makes sense for Christmas, like Christmas month.
yeah,
It's written in the stars, everybody. That's how
it,
easy it is here. So this is officially Chris month.
Chris
December is
month.
Chris month. And so Chris Porter was the first Chris. Next week we'll have a different Chris, and the week after that too. All right. So we'll
Yes.
see everybody next week. We'll figure out which Chris that is going to be. But come join us next week, same time, same place, for yet another Chris. All right. We'll see you guys all later. Okay, see you later, Deadpan. Bye.